going on, huh?
Like young Jason in The Forbidden Kingdom, screenwriter John Fusco's own journey into the world of Chinese culture, kung-fu philosophy, and the mystery of an ancient past began at an early age.
Ever since I was a boy, I loved Eastern philosophy, loved Taoist thought and philosophy, the teachings of Lao Tzu, the Tao Te Ching, and martial arts. And I was really interested in deeper levels of martial arts other than the physical application, self-defense application. I started studying Korean martial arts when I was 12 years old and studied for a few years until an injury took me out of it. But flash forward 30 years later, I returned to martial arts, started studying Shaolin Kung Fu. I've been studying for almost 8 years now. So it was kind of a return to martial arts. And at the same time, I now had a young son who was studying Taekwondo. And he also shared a passion for the old Shaw Brothers Kung Fu movies. So the two of us would watch them together. And I wanted him to learn more about the deeper precepts and the code of virtue behind martial arts. So at night, at bedtime, I would read The Monkey King, Outlaws of the Marsh, Romance of the Three Kingdoms, these Chinese classic martial arts novels. But they were coming from a different sensibility and very hard for a young Western kid to embrace and to understand. And so I started to make up a bedtime story for him. And it was the tale of an American kid like him who time travels back into ancient China on a quest to free the legendary Monkey King. I told this to a producer friend of mine, Casey Silver, while we were on the set of Hidalgo in the desert. And I told him about this story I was making up. And he said, I think there's really a movie here. In the beginning of the story, Jason wants to learn Kung Fu for all the wrong reasons. He wants to beat up the bullies and get the girls and win respect.
What we got here?
Just some bootlegs, no big deal. He idolizes people like Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan and Jet Li, and he's a big fan of martial arts movies, almost obsessed with them. He kind of lives vicariously through them in the films that he watches, not so practicing it himself.
Oh, right with right here. Chinese, no subtitles. Yeah, do you have any early Shaw Brothers? There's a guy who does leopard style.
And he hangs out in a local Chinatown pawn shop where he's always looking for bootleg Kung Fu DVDs. But one day in the pawn shop, he finds something else. And that's an antique bow staff, a fighting stick.
That's a Northern Temple-style bow staff. The same kind the 13 monks used to save the Tang Emperor. I've seen it before. That exact one. I've had dreams about it.
And it has some kind of mystic power over him, something that he can't really describe, but it's this staff that transfers him to this new world.
And this stick turns out to be what's known in Chinese mythology as the as-you-will cudgel, or the Monkey King's staff. This was the powerful weapon of the Monkey King.
As Jason discovers, the Monkey King's bow staff possesses powers beyond his imagination. It also proves to be an essential link to the ancient roots of Kung Fu that Fusco infused into his screenplay.
Very few people realize that Kung Fu film is informed by the Chinese classics, folklore, and mythology. And in fact, martial art itself is informed by a lot of the Chinese mythology.
The Monkey King, born of stone, with his weapon in hand. His chi became like fire, his stick fighting like magic.
The Monkey King is one of the most revered characters in all of Chinese mythology and popular culture. He had the power of transformation, heightened intelligence,
My turn.
super speed, and great strength. It was because of these incredible feats that the Monkey King achieved another of his most memorable characteristics: arrogance.
The Monkey King is an allegory for the raw nature inside a person, restless spontaneity and genius, the childhood magic that's locked inside all of us. And that's what's really cool about Monkey King, is that he's a contrarian. He teaches us lessons through his contrary ways, much like the coyote figure in Native American lore. He's a trickster. Monkey King is a big part of Kung Fu when you get into stick fighting forms. And so much of the monkey Kung Fu system is based on Monkey King and that mythology. As Jet Li said, you know, monkey style is not an external style, it comes from the heart leads you. And he applied that so well in using monkey Kung Fu and self-expression, creating his own magic through Monkey King.
Innkeeper, more wine.
Geez, don't you think you've had one too many?
Wine is my inspiration.
The mythology of the 8 immortals goes all the way back to the dynasties of the 10th century. Having achieved their immortality through chance events in their lives, they are all representative of Taoist perfections and considered to be gods.
The character Lu Yan, played by Jackie Chan, is rumored to be one of the 8 drunken immortals from Chinese mythology. And the 8 immortals are the allegorical founders of the drunken Kung Fu style. So in the screenplay, Lu Yan's Kung Fu is clearly drunken fist.
Drunken Kung Fu is a genuine form of the martial arts whose postures are created by the momentum and weight of the body. Its fluid movements appear to imitate a staggering drunk, but they are very effective against an opponent.
Someone in China described the screenplay as a love letter to martial arts cinema. And in many ways it is. I've been writing screenplays for 20 years, but this is the first time that I've tapped into a lifelong love for martial arts and martial arts literature and cinema.
I just want to go home.
So Jason's journey, in a way, it's